Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you, and the headline of the news reads: Politician and Daddy G.O. Adeboye at loggerheads as a battle over Nigerian economy, tithes and offering. But before we go on with details of the news and further analysis, we would like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish videos on YouTube. All right, let's look at the news in detail. A couple of weeks ago, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of Nigeria, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, stated the honest need. He called on all the 36 state governors and members of the state houses of assembly to cut their salaries and emolument by 50% in order to tackle the challenges the state governments were facing in education, health, and other critical sectors. In their reaction, members of the executive and legislative disagree with Pastor Adeboye's proposal, arguing that the church should lead the way by sacrificing the percentage of their tithes and offering. According to them, the church amassed wealth by collecting money from their members, with pastors buying private jets while their members could not even afford to send their children to the school established by these churches with their money. Honorable Success, who is a member of the Ondo State House of Assembly representing a Sodo constituency, said this. He said, "Let me tell you straight away that our responsibility in our different constituencies surpasses what we even earn as salaries. What we earn is even too small, and considering the reduction is out of it, calling for a reduction is not even possible, because it's only when you earn vulgar salaries that you would contemplate that a reduction won't affect you. But in a situation that when you even earn is not enough for you and your family, then what we should be talking about right now for you, what we should be talking about should be how it can be increased. So a reduction in whatever guise is unacceptable. What we earn as legislature is not comparable to the numerous responsibilities that we face on daily basis in our constituency." Commissioner also in Ondo State, who spoke with in confidence, said that the responsibility politicians shoulder in their constituency is nothing compared to what the clergyman is asking us to sacrifice. Again, you won't believe it that many political appointees seldom travel to their constituency because of pressure from the people. Many party members believe we pluck money from trees going by the demands on them. The salary we earn is not even enough to cater for our family members, not to think of sacrificing 50% for development of infrastructure. It is not possible. Let the general overseer and pastors to sacrifice from the tithes and other offering they collect from their church members. How much is even our salary that somebody is asking that it should be reduced by 50%? Another person, one Honorable Femi Akindele, member Ekiti State House of Assembly, put his mouth into this same argument and said, if that is coming from a renowned person like Baba Adeboye, I want to agree with that, assuming without considering that he's saying the obvious. If our salaries from even the presidency to the last person, which is the councillor, is to be slashed by 50%, we all welcome it. If the religious leaders like him can as well sacrifice all the monies that accrue to his office by taking care of the indigents within their various denominations, so that will even encourage those of us who are political office holders to even go further than even 50%. Because as it is today, it is the political office holders that the people, the masses, turn to for help on a daily basis. It is the political office holders that people will come to their various houses for school fees, for hospital bills, for health challenges, and several other things. Yet the churches are the one amassing their wealth, collecting money from their poor people without giving back anything commensurate. They are the ones establishing the schools that their members can't afford to send their wards to. Honorable Bamidele Vaparusi, Ekiti State Commissioner for Infrastructure and Political Utility, also added his voice to this argument as he said, it is not the salary of political office holder that is the problem, because they have their roles to play in the system. They leave their other means of livelihood to focus on governance. Otherwise, they should not dedicate their required time for governance. Another important issue is how they would be able to justify whatever earnings they are getting from taxpayers' money. The treasury is depleted when public office holders use their money office to get more outside than their remuneration. How much is the salary that you want to reduce by 50%? If a commissioner is taking home 320,000, how much do you reduce it by half? My general manager in my private office is earning more than me presently. Even as a commissioner, I am doing almost 24 hours work and still have political responsibility. People are coming to seek assistance here and there. You have followers, you are a politician. People expect so much from you. So if you say you are having it, it is better you say it is a voluntary work than you come to work when you choose to work, to come and attend to people at your leisure. I don't see the remuneration and exorbitant as people portray it. When you look at the National Assembly, the salary of rep member is 700,000, while that of the senator is 900,000 naira, which is not too much. The overhead of the National Assembly is what they need to look at and not their salaries. The overhead is too much. Even that of governance is too high. People should focus on it, not remuneration of people in the governance. Their remuneration is okay compared to what people in private sector is taking home. Another Honorable Yemisi Ayekunle, Chairman House Committee on Media and Public Communication, added his voice too. And from his own perspective, he opines that, and quote is what he said, is he aware of the package? Does he know the problem we solve for our constituencies? Does he know the enormity of the demands from our constituency? What we receive is not enough to meet the needs of our constituency, not to talk of our immediate families. Our population is increasing by the day, and the truth is that man's needs are insatiable. So we have to keep on going like that. Managing our resources, managing our health on a daily basis. I don't think there is going to be an end or permanent solution to funding problem. It will keep on going on till Jesus comes. All right, there are a lot of other responses from different persons, and let me just read one here and then just let's look at it critically. This one said Chief BC Akande, who is a former governor of Osun State. He also added his voice. He said, we don't need Pastor Adeboye's intervention to understand the enormity of the problem in the country, but this generation of politicians' major zeal is money rather than zeal to save their respective states. I was a councillor for 9 years in Leah, and I was living in Lagos. I would come to Leah every week for meetings without collecting a dime. I was driven by a passion to save, not money, because I was even spending my money. Reducing salary and allowance will not solve the problem. Rather, the new generation of politicians should change their orientation and focus on service instead of thinking about money they would make. All right, looking at all of these, a lot of politicians are talking. Some of them are really against Adeboye, and some of them are trying to be in between. So looking at this, who do you think should take the first step here? Is it the church? Is it the politician? Or does it mean the church have a social responsibility which they have taken care of, or their own focus is just meant to be spiritual and leaving the enormous responsibility of catering for the finances of the people to the politician? I want a middle ground here. What do you think about it?
Well, let me start from the church. Let's be real here. I've never in my entire life, ever since I was born to this moment, see tithes and offering evaporating to the heavens. When you give a tithe or offering, it doesn't just stay and there as they bless the tithes and they bless the offering. It doesn't just stay there and evaporates to heaven and the good Lord accepts it. What I do know that God accepts is actually worship and praise. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that there's no administrative charges, administrative head in the church. There are. They pay pastors. You need to run gen, because Nigeria here we still have issues with when it comes to social amenities like electrification and all that. And even the roads that leads to church, sometimes it's only those roads that lead to church that are tarred. Other roads can be bad, but at least so that people will not have excuse of not coming to church. So they usually tarred the road leading to the major churches. I feel that also the church has that social responsibility. Sometimes, when you meet the government halfway, it clearly shows, let's be real, one of the flamboyant people in Nigeria that makes even the occupation of pastoral occupation is now a vibrant business. Some people even go as far as giving it pastorpreneur, meaning it's a viable business. It's churches, whereby, it's not even taxed. That money is not taxable. It's God's money. You don't tax God's money. You want God's rod to fall on you. So all these gimmicks makes the money come en bloc. And, and what we get to see is in Nigeria, you see pastors wear the best shoes. Followers don't. They'll tell you, praise the Lord. The Lord has blessed us with a jet. Bless who? Us? Blessed you. It is you, the man of God.
Exactly.
You enter your jet. How many people have you seen on your road, on your way to maybe Shagamu branch? Say, let's pick that member. Let's.
Yeah. Please, sorry, you're going to still continue. This issue has been quite a controversial one, owing to the fact that we always link tithe offering to God, and it goes to God and all of that has nothing to do with human. And then you see them pointing fingers at politicians, and for politicians politicians, they have their responsibility. But the truth of the matter is, if as a church we begin to wake up to certain responsibility, like helping out those who are part and parcel of the church. I know some churches are doing it, but there are some that are not doing at all. Some of them is even a sin for a member to come in. No pastor will question you when you go to give him offering. Say, sir, I brought 5 million naira to give to the church.
God bless you.
God bless you. But go back and demand for 1 million naira after maybe 6 months. Says, I'm the entire man that came and sold 5 million naira. Things have been so horrible. Please, if the church can even give me 500 to 1 million, let me push into my business so that it can grow up. That time they'll say, where is your tithe booklet? Are you sure you have been saving a lot? The pastor will keep quiet. If he loves you so much, go into his office and bring books and say, read these books. It will help you. Are you sure you have been paying your time? So these guys, they have used people, but that's why whenever they speak, even as much as respected members of the religious society, like Papa Adeboye talking, you see that people give no respect to their words, because we have seen what these guys have been doing. They've not really been helping matters. Which I could still remember a young man whose father died, and when the father died, he didn't even have enough money on him, and he was a committed member. I think it was an evangelical group in one of these big churches. So when it was time, and the brother had to meet with him, and I was like trying to express so much interest and talking on his behalf. This guy doesn't have much and all of that. The father's burial is coming up soonest, and we will put something in the pocket. And me, being that this is one of the biggest church, I was very expectant that what they will give to this brother will shake the ground and all of that. Only for me to receive a phone call from the brother afterwards. He called me and said, can you imagine how much the church gave to me? A mega church. I'm not talking about one small assembly. A mega church. I'm talking about in the city. They are already a very big church. And I mean, they are money church. They know them as money church. If you know the church that is money church, you should know what I'm talking about. And guess how much they gave to the guy? They gave the guy 3,000 naira. Even me, myself, I cannot give that guy 3,000 naira, owing to the fact that he had so much to do with money as at that time. But a whole group gave the guy 3,000 naira. When I now had to, I called the leader of the group and said, hey, what's going on now? And this guy mentioned the amount they gave to him. What was 3,000? Even transport, to transport himself around, wouldn't even be able to fix anything. The guy said he should write specially to the man of God, to the one who is in charge in that particular area. He should write to him stating why he needs money to bury his father. But he can't assure if it will be approved. And I was like, what? So all those monies we've been giving for a lot of things in the church, does it mean you guys don't even know that human beings need to have about the teaching of Jesus? So even as he's pointing fingers and talking about reduction in the salaries of these people, he should also talk about what the churches ought to do. Meet can as a body that regulates the activity of these so-called churches. Meet them and tell them, hey, as churches, let us make up our minds to do this and this and this in different. We are not talking about just tying one road and you sing your praises to the high heavens when we know that in your account there are trillions of money there and you spend maybe 6 million naira, few monies to tie a road that is leading to your church, and you think everybody should clap for you. That's not what we're talking about. We are looking at selflessness here, whereby I will want to do this. I won't do it to only Christian. I'll do it to Muslim. I'll do it to pagans. I'll do it to Christian. Everyone that comes in, because you know, guy, you are worthy, and you don't need to keep your treasures here on earth now. Is that not what the Bible says? Yes. Our treasures ought to be in heaven. So why are you busy keeping treasures on earth and then see you voking and looking for money everywhere? It's really not interesting again.
But really, let's still give it to the church. One of the best schools in Nigeria actually owned by the church.
Owned by the Israel, but
hold on. Let's go there. They have the best schools. In fact, their schools are probably far better than government-owned schools. They have best facilities. But honestly, if it's only take the corrupt politicians in Nigeria for their children to attend their schools, it's so crazy that a semester, a session school fees is as big as taking care of a whole degree. As in, for government schools, for further university, you can pay all your tuition fee plus your textbooks, your handout, everything that has to do with your university days, for 5 years. For those who are doing 5-year courses, is what some of the schools pay for just a session, and that's probably tuition fee. Then you begin to see even the common man, the church member, can't even afford the school. So when are we talking about the school then? It's not even meant for the common man. It's not meant for their members. It's meant for those that are the elite, those who can afford it. Then what really is the use of the church? While what is good for the goods is also good for the gander. While we talk about the political elite in Nigeria, how corrupt they are, how they siphon money, how they've been defrauding the Nigerian economy, we should also remind that the pastors, the major pastors in Nigeria, also that they have social responsibility. Even Jesus mentioned the fact that when I was poor, you fed me. When I was in the hospital, you visited me. When I was in the prison, you visited me. When I had no clothes, you clothed me. All this has to do with charity. And how do you do that? To everyone around you. Those monies kept in the bank is not meant for the bank. It's meant for the people. The church is not the building. The church is you and I. So stretch forth your hand. Meet the government halfway. If they can't meet their constituency, meet you as a pastor, you as a GO. Your environment should feel you. Each time they say they want to establish a parish in your environment, in any environment, the people there should be happy because they know light has truly come. Yeah. Not some spiritual light per se, but the fact that at least the young people can see good jobs, even if it means them coming, welfare packages should be there for those who are in need, those who have entrepreneurship, those who want to learn one trade or the other. They are sure that the church is there to help them. Some will volunteer some of their property because they know the church is truly coming, not the one that is all those issue of it's paying tithes and offering, but there's no but I feel also that while the church should do theirs, the government also should do theirs.
All right, that's where we're going to leave it. Go to our comment section, let us interact. What's your position on this issue? Do you think that the church should be the one to go ahead?